What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Welcome to Double Upload December, day 23, posting this video on December 23rd, 2021. Funny enough, it's actually being filmed on August 4th. Welcome to YouTube. Today I wanted to talk about my very first piece of silver ever. I also wanted to talk about my very first piece of gold ever as well. And I picked up this particular piece of silver right around 4 years ago, by the time this video comes out. Anyway, the middle of December of 2017, I got my very first piece of silver. Spot price was only 17 bucks at the time. I think it was like 17.02 to be more specific. And I chose to go with this particular basic generic secondary market silver round. It's pretty cool, pretty simple. It has the eagle and the shield right there up at the top. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Tell me that's not the perfect silver round for this channel right here, the DYDSS channel. And then, of course, down there at the bottom it says 1 troy ounce, 3/9 fine silver. We're going to talk a little bit more about this particular silver round, along with my very first piece of gold. Make sure you're subscribed if you're new. Subscribe to my second channel as well. It's linked in the description. If you want to join the Precious Metals VIP Club, I'd really appreciate that. The link will be in the description as well. And of course, if you want to get some DYDSS merchandise, the link to that will also be in the description. So this little piece of silver I got at my local coin shop. The first time I had ever set foot in a coin shop, at least to my recollection. I can't say that I don't think I've ever been in a coin shop before then, but I did a little bit of research, actually quite a bit of research, prior to stopping by and picking up this very first piece of silver. I was actually introduced to silver about 2 years ahead of time. I was just so hyper-focused on a business that I had started with a group of friends, and I had a lot going on, and it was something that I was definitely interested in, but I was so preoccupied with everything else that I had going on, it just kind of in one ear and out the other type of thing. But I knew it was cool and I knew I wanted to be a part of it. I don't know what happened in 2017, but something reminded me of the conversation I had with a friend named Steven, who's the one who introduced me to silver in the first place. Something jogged my memory, and I did quite a bit of research. I went onto YouTube, started typing in silver stacking videos, silver coins, silver bars, gold, precious metals, and I was trying to familiarize myself as best I could, and I came across channels like Another Overtaxed Taxpayer, Salivate Metals, and those were the two main channels that stood out to me the most, and I learned the most from those two channels. And a lot of their videos were directing me to articles and other people's blogs and videos and whatnot, and I did plenty of research, and I decided that silver was something that I wanted to stack, so I headed on over to the local coin shop and I picked up my very first piece of silver. This right here. This is one side, and let's flip it over. Arguably even cooler on the other side. The Bill of Rights, 1791 to 1991, with the feather quill right there, and you can actually see, I don't know if you can make out the words, but it has quite a bit of scripture. Absolute stunning silver round. Spot price at the time was, like I said, about 17 bucks. For this right here, at the time I felt like I slightly overpaid, because spot price was 17 bucks, and I think I paid maybe like $22 or $23, which was a little bit more on the pricey end, but it came with an airtight capsule, and it came with this little velvet display box or whatever. So I figured, not that big of a deal. It came with some extra stuff. For the silver itself, at the time it was really only worth about maybe $19, maybe $20, because premiums back then actually made sense. Keep in mind, I'm filming this video in August, so who knows what spot price and what premiums are going to be like by the time this video actually drops. But at the time I'm recording the video, premiums are significantly higher than just a measly $2. Moving away from my very first piece of silver, or actually, before I even get too far away from that, let me also quickly explain that after picking up my very first piece of silver, this right here, I was immediately hooked. I started going after some more generic silver rounds. At the time, it was actually cheaper to get silver online than it was to go to the local coin shop. That's how much the premiums used to make sense. It was cheaper to go online than it was to go to the coin shop. So I ended up getting all of these in a pretty short window of time, along with some silver eagles as well, and even some Canadian maple leafs. Here's an example of one of each. One of my first silver eagles and one of my first silver maples. I switched up my stacking strategy ever so slightly during that period of time within my first, let's just say, 4 to 6 months. And one thing that I decided to switch up was the metal I was stacking as well, because I spent those first couple months doing absolutely nothing but stacking silver. A couple months later, I decided diversification never hurt anyone. Let me get my very first piece of gold. And I have it right here in my hand, but this is what I consider to be somewhat of a rookie mistake. Here it is. A little 1 gram gold bar. Was picking up the 1 gram gold bar, or stacking gold 1 gram at a time, a rookie mistake? No. The rookie mistake was not understanding how premiums worked back then. I thought if I wanted to get a troy ounce of gold, it would be easier and more affordable to get about 31 of these little 1 gram gold bars to equate to a troy ounce of gold. I figured, I was like, okay, same thing, but I'm working in smaller increments. It'll take me a little bit longer to work my way up to about a troy ounce of gold. So I went this way, not really understanding how the premiums worked. Shortly after, I realized that I paid a pretty hefty premium at the time. I don't remember what spot price of gold was back then. I want to say maybe $1,200-1,300, maybe 14 at the time. I do not remember. It was probably March or April of 2018, if anybody knows off the top of their head. I personally do not remember. But I picked up this little 1 gram gold bar, and this was my very first piece of gold. I don't believe I'll part ways with it. It's kind of cool knowing that this was my first little gold piece. Then again, I don't really plan on parting ways with any of my silver or any of my gold, but I just want to show it off because this was my first piece of gold, just like how I talked about this was my first piece of silver. So these right here, this is where it all got started. This is what really kick-started everything for me. The little 1 ounce silver round is what led to multiple months of generic silver round stacking, which then led to tons and tons and tons of silver eagles becoming the foundation of my stack, with the Canadian maple leaf becoming second in command, which then led on to 10 ounce bars, 5 ounce bars, miscellaneous other silver rounds and other silver coins, which led to a bunch of 90% silver, which led to multiple years later. Here we are, about 4 years deep in the stacking journey, and I've gotten my fair share of silver. And this little gold bar right here kickstarted the gold stack for me. I currently have nothing but this one little 1 gram gold bar, a handful of 1/10 ounce gold coins from a variety of different countries, mainly eagles and maples, but then I got the bright idea to start something that I ended up, I believe, creating. I've never seen anybody else do it before. An international troy ounce of gold that I was working on, 10 different 10th ounce gold coins from 10 different countries. And then I also started the same thing but with quarter ounces. 4 different quarter ounce gold coins from 4 different countries. I'm currently still working on both of those, except I've kind of shifted my focus a little bit. I'm not overly concerned on completing the international troy ounces of gold. I'm more so interested in just simply getting my hands on more gold, period, regardless of what it is. Especially nowadays with the premiums being kind of wacky. I don't think now's the time to be picky necessarily. I think now's the time to just simply stack what you can, as much as you can, as frequently as you can, for the lowest dollar amount that you can. That's just my strategy anyway. I'm very curious, what is yours, and what was your very first piece of silver and your very first piece of gold? Head on down to the comments and let me know. If you guys enjoyed today's video, please hit the like button. If you guys have not subscribed to the channel already, please go ahead and do so. Also subscribe to my second channel as well. It's linked in the description. Please join the Precious Metals VIP Club, also linked in the description. And of course, if you want to get some DYDSS merchandise, I would really appreciate that. Also linked in the description. Thank you for tuning into Double Upload December, day 23. See you in the next video. Don't you dare stop smiling. Peace.